met.
A podcast about Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
It's time for a little.
This is the Angry Chicken.
I hope you like my invention.
I'm gonna eat Reporting for duty.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Angry Chicken, a Hearthstone podcast. I'm Garrett Weinzierl, and with me, as always, is Willie Dills Gregory and Miss Jocelyn Moffat. Guys and gal. I keep getting yelled at for that. I call everyone guys. I call my girlfriend dude. It happens.
I was going to say, I answer to guy, dude, chick, you over there, whatever. It's all good.
I call my girlfriend dude too, although sometimes she shoots me a weird look when I do it. It's like, really? Call me dude? Like, it's just so casual, but
It's just.
I was like, no, I love you, dude. It's cool.
love you, dude. I don't say I love you, dude, but I'll just be like,
No, you
dude.
don't.
No.
You should try it. It's
No.
really awkward.
Or bro for that matter. I love you, bro. to my girlfriend.
That'd be amazing. I don't answer to bro, because I'm not a bro.
I don't use the word bro except ironically. So there's that. Anyways, welcome back, guys. How you guys doing? Dills, you doing okay this week?
I'm doing great. Although I
Are we
just
starting?
finished up
Oh, okay.
my worst stretch of arenas ever.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'll say that so I don't know if you guys have noticed this, and I don't know if it might be we're at different MMRs or something like that, but the game has gotten incredibly fast. It is so damn fast right now, and I guess it just took me a while to adjust to that. So I went after my last 9 win. I went 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 2, 1. After that.
Jeez, that sounds like me.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like my runs.
Yeah.
It on my stream as well, so everybody got to watch.
Yeah, no, this has been the longest amount of time I've gone since getting a beta that I haven't arena'd. We both had not the best Hearthstone experiences this weekend, and it may have dented my competitive spirit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't
Man.
worry, it'll come back.
So
When you guys weren't streaming, I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fill the Angry Chicken void this afternoon. I'm going to stream some of my constructed, just, playing in the ladder and whatever. I lost every freaking game. And I was just like, God
Ooh.
damn it, this is Garrett's fault.
Oh,
Rubbing bad luck
don't
all
blame
over
it
the
on me.
stream.
I'll have you know that when I was sorry, what was that?
Stop messing up Jocelyn, man.
It's all my fault, apparently. I'll have you know that when I did finally jump back into my ranked play, however, this week, I've been dominating.
Good.
Just,
All right.
I think I've lost 2 games with that Paladin deck we made.
Yeah.
I've been playing Paladin too, and it's so easy.
There's a nerf coming. There has to be a nerf coming.
Do you think so? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I can beat other paladins no problem. I think the decks that we built were just really good.
Well,
I
apparently
have the
not.
2 versions, one with the Avenging Wrath and one without. And then the one without I just added Sylvanas to, and it's just like now it's just
Ooh, that's dirty.
it's crazy. Yeah, because Sylvanas basically just stops everything cold.
I'm trying to remember. I think today I was screwing around with it, and I took out my last Azure Drake, and I put in a Lay on Hands because I noticed I was getting burnt down by mages,
Oh yeah, well the mages are crazy.
and it seemed to really help.
Yeah.
Um,
I say I if I'm gonna try to get life gain, I prefer the Guardians, because then I still put a big beefy dude out on the board, and it costs 7 mana, which is 1 less.
okay.
I know you get the 3 cards with the Lay on Hands, but it's
That-
like it takes your whole turn and you put nothing on the board.
That was the other thing I noticed, though, was I was getting to late game with my Paladin, and I had 1 or 2 cards in my hand, and I was low on life, so I needed
see.
card draw, and I needed health, and I don't know, today it seemed to have worked. I only lost, 1 game today. So.
Yeah,
I
I've-
found as soon as I stopped streaming, I started winning games, and I was just like,
Sure.
damn it.
that's a likely story, Jocelyn.
It is.
I'm starting to. So the game is incredibly fast right now. The Paladin deck that I'm playing is not incredibly fast, but as soon as I added, I got a Worgen Infiltrator, what's the Argent Squire or whatever, the guy, the 1/1 with Divine Shield, and a Leper Gnome. So I have three possible 1-drops and like 6 2-drops. Like all of a sudden, it's like that deck is just, it just blows people the hell up. It's insane.
Wow.
Okay, so when you say that the game is fast, do you mean like time-wise, or do you mean like you're only getting like 5 or 6 turns and the game is over?
Yeah, so basically, fast means that everyone is playing decks where they all have like 1-drops, lots of 1 and 2-drops. So basically, on almost every turn, they're dropping like 3 creatures.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely noticed that too.
Yeah, they're just going straight for your face and they're skipping everything on the board, letting you trade, and then trying to kill you by like turn 6 or 7.
It's aggressive, is what it is.
It's
Super aggressive.
So, but that has become, and when talking about that TL Open a little bit, that has become not just the constructed meta, but I'm noticing it in Arena as well. People are drafting much faster decks. They're skipping all the big guys, and they're just drafting all the 1 and 2-drops and 3-drops and just trying to make the quickest possible decks they can. And so that's really what happened to me. I was getting rushed down like crazy.
Yeah.
And then I said yesterday, and I had 2 9s and 8, 2 9s, 2 8s, and a 7. So that's the new way to play, I guess, which is like, I don't know if I'm happy about it. And
It shifts quickly.
Is it consistent though? I feel like when I was going through Arena, I wouldn't have actually had enough aggressive cards to build an aggressive deck.
You do. Like, what you don't notice is that before you were undervaluing those cards.
So it's like it's a 1-drop. It has an attack and health value. Just take it regardless if it's a good card. Okay.
Well, not just the. I mean, not every time, but basically, like something that costs 6 mana, unless it's like a commander, like just don't take it. Because it's not. It doesn't. It has less value.
So
everyone's doing this now, and you just have to adjust to keep up. It's crazy.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and make this next comment not sound cynical. As somebody who plays black and white decks and blue decks in Magic, I like control. I like developing my board.
Sure.
Are you having fun? Because this doesn't sound fun.
Oh,
I'm having so much fun, and I think it's because of the Paladin, because you get to turn like 5 or 6, and then they've got all these like 2/1, 1/2 minions, and then you just go consecrate. Boom.
Yeah. Well, that's why mages are still doing really well against all these weenie decks, because basically they have Blizzard, Flame Strike, Cone of Cold. If they're weirdos, they have Arcane Explosion, but like they have a lot of AoEs, and so they just blow all these little creatures off the board.
The mage has been kind of the outlier since the launch. The mage has just been solid. It hasn't been a fad deck at all. It's always whatever the meta of the week has been in Hearthstone. The mage it just works.
Yeah, no, it's true. The weird thing though is like it's basically if you don't have a 1-drop right now, you're instantly behind, and the whole game you're trying your best to like get back in there. But what a mage can do is like ping off all those little dudes, take much less damage for those first like 4 turns, and then just AoE it all off the board, and then like make it to turn 8, cast Ice Block, and then Pyro to the face. So it's like mages just don't have a problem with this deck, but everybody else is like Warlocks have this amazing hero power, right? But if you're playing a control Warlock deck, your hero power is useless by turn 4 because you're at 15 life, and you cannot life tap. Like, you just can't do it.
Yeah, or
no way.
Or if you're against the mage, period, as a Warlock, you're just like, oh shit.
Like, oh man, I wanted to play a game.
Like like the way I play my shaman deck is very much weapon based. I equip a weapon. I hope to God I get my axe, my Stormforged axe, the 2 attack, 3 durability for, what is it, 2 mana and 1 overload? 3 mana, 1 overload? I forget exactly.
It's 2 mana, 1 overload.
2 mana, 1 overload. I hope to God I pull that in my opening hand. Because
and you get 3 attacks with it, so.
Right, exactly. And that means I can keep the board clear. I can trade some life points for some minions early on. But if I see a mage come out, I'm just like, oh crap. I guess I'm not trading life points because every single point of health is a very valuable resource against a mage.
No, it's true because everything they do just goes straight for your face. So
Exactly. The only time I'm happy is like, oh, okay, cool. They're playing the mirror image mage deck, so at least I can use my weapon for something.
yeah.
I can
I've
remove.
also noticed that every mage is playing Ice Block now. You can't kill a mage because you have to kill him 3 times. You know.
Yep.
Well,
And, that's
I,
tough.
yeah, as tournaments, publicly streamed tournaments are going to have this effect on the game. Whatever
Absolutely.
works, whatever becomes popular, we're going to see become the norm. Especially when it's this early on. There's really, I feel like literally the meta has changed every week on the show. Every time we're talking about it, it's something wildly different, with the exception of the mage.
But
even
it
in Mage,
hasn't
it's-
gone the other direction though. It's only gotten faster. Like it's just consistently getting like eventually everyone's gonna play 30 wisps, and that's gonna be like, they're just gonna be like how they're gonna figure out how to get 30 wisps in their deck, and they're gonna be like, dude, whatever, man. I just dropped my entire hand every turn, and it's all good. Like it's gotten so insane with the speed of these decks that I'm trying to figure out how it can get faster than it is right now. And I'm sure people are sitting there figuring it out, but I can't think of how it could possibly get faster than it is. So we'll talk. I want to talk about specifically a Warlock deck that was in the TL Open because it was insane.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's start talking about this week's news then. While we're on that subject, I guess first up, the Innkeeper's Invitational official deck lists have finally been posted. All of them, not just Artosis's. This was.
But do we really care about the other ones?
Yes,
Those loser decks.
yes, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
Artosis versus Crip, I really think could have gone either way.
Sure.
I think
absolutely.
Reckful could have taken the tournament if he hadn't screwed it up with that mage deck.
Well, if he hadn't not gotten lethal there,
Exactly.
if he realized, he might have steamrolled him with the rest of those games.
That
like
mage deck was solid, and I don't think anyone had seen anything like it before, until that day.
Well, I've seen it in ladder, but not like you haven't seen it like on the big stage like that,
Right.
And there was a lot of mage decks that were similar, but not quite. Like playing the Cold Light Oracles and stuff like that, a lot of people weren't doing that stuff. So it was definitely the first time I think most of the population of people playing this game had seen that type of deck.
I don't think anyone, at least not on a large scale, had penned in let my opponent get to 7 minions so he can't play anymore as the goal.
Yeah,
of
like
a
as a
deck.
strategy. Yeah.
Like
I saw actually in this TL Open that specific type of mage deck win a game with fatigue by playing a Cold Light Oracle late in the game.
that's awesome.
It was insane. Yeah,
That's really
By the
cool.
way, Reckful played the Cold Light Oracle, and that's what lost him the game. But whatever.
Well, it's because he didn't play lethal damage.
Yeah.
But
But the Cold Light Oracle was the card he chose instead. Like it was so weird. But
yeah, it was just a bad move. So, but yeah, now you can see all of the deck lists right there. They're available on both Hearthpwn and Hearthhead. So go check it out because I pretty shamelessly ripped off Artosis's Priest deck, and I love it.
that deck is so strange, though.
That's
a
why
lot
I
of
like it
having
because
problems with it, like playing it because it's weird. There's a lot of like cool stuff that can happen, but I feel like that deck was made to counter other priest decks. Do you feel like that might be true? Because
I think it was made to counter anti-priest meta.
okay,
Like people play against priest decks, like they basically play around their removal, and just that priest deck is just so funky because you've got the soul priests in there. So all of a sudden you're attacking with your heal. You can potentially have a fully healed up injured Blade Master. You can have a 4/7 on turn 3 or turn 2 if you have a coin.
yeah. But again, like that specific set of cards is so hard to get in your hand all at one time.
Right. It is.
I find that when I play that deck, I tried it a little bit and then I just deleted it. I was like, nah, this is not for me.
I really like it. I disassembled it a little bit and put in some of the Angry Chicken logic, the stuff you and I talk a lot about, Dills, which is you need 2-drops. Hey, put in enough 2-drops where you have something to play on turn 2 so you don't fall behind.
Yeah.
So I've got some Fairy Dragons in there. I've got some
Best two drop.
oozes.
Yeah.
So,
Fairy dragons and oozes are just so insane. It's so weird because there was a period of time when this game first came out where I looked at the fairy dragon. I was like, yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. But I never really considered how powerful that thing is. It's insane how good that 2-drop is. It cannot be removed. I so many times I see people try to target it. I'm like, nope, can't do that, buddy. What are you doing? Like, sorry. You can stick it in the middle of things, and they can't cone cold your entire board. It's amazing.
Oh yeah,
I
I've had
never thought of that.
I had a couple games of my paladin deck this past week where my fairy dragon has made it to turn 4.
Yeah.
And imagine the scenario where I have a fairy dragon out. I've then played an Archer Protector and bubbled it, and then I drop a Ardent Defender in between them.
Sure.
So now it's a 4/3 with Divine Shield.
Or how about when you play it on turn 2, and then on turn 3 you cleric it, then on turn 4 you bubble it, like then on turn 5, you know what I mean? It's like you just continue to make that thing tougher and tougher.
There's some just sick plays you can get going with a fairy dragon if you have a buff deck.
And against a mage, it can get down to 1 health, and it's fine. It's not a big deal, because he cannot ping it.
I love it. It makes me. I just sit there just pointing and laughing at the mage. It's great.
Yeah, he's like, damn it, get this stupid fairy dragon out of here. It's like, nope, sorry, buddy, it's going to stick around forever.
Turn 7, they're like, hey, do I really have to flame strike to kill this damn fairy dragon? What is this?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But no, it's like Jocelyn, you said you hadn't thought of the putting in the middle thing. It's also great against rogues for betrayal because they can't target it for betrayal. So there's a lot of situations where if you stick it in the middle of 2 minions, hunters can't use explosive shot on it. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really good way to block specific things. And I'm surprised it's the only card in the game that has this ability because it's pretty solid. And I could see like a 5-drop or something that has it, but it's sick because it's a 2-drop that has the legit stats, the 3/2.
Yeah,
and it's got this amazing ability. So
yeah, which listeners, if you're new and you don't know what it is and you're not looking it up, it can't be targeted by spells or hero abilities.
Yes,
which does mean you can hit it with other minions.
Oh, absolutely. But because it's a 2-drop with 3 attack, it trades with other 2-drops and even other 3-drops.
Yeah. Now the other thing though is that as a priest you can't heal it. So remember that it's less valuable in a priest deck because of the fact that you can't heal it.
It can be healed by what are the shamans that heal?
Dark scale healers, yeah.
Yeah, and then the voodoo.
And the shaman totems, yeah. It can't.
It can be, anything that, as long as it's not a hero, power, or a spell card.
Yeah,
it can still be affected. Like so, battle cries affect it. Any minion with an ability like that happens when it's played, like the Ardent Defender, all that stuff.
So, Jocelyn, have you copied any of these decks? Have you looked through these lists?
No, actually, I haven't, and it's totally on purpose. That's part of the reason why I have been losing so much is because I'm trying to build my deck through trial and error, and it's been a lot of error. But
everyone just copies other people. That's
the thing. I don't want to do that. I want to learn the game. I'm not going to learn if I just go and copy other people's stuff. So
I disagree entirely.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to learn.
It's a
copy their deck, and then you see what is working for them, and then you go, well, how do I tweak it for me, right?
Well, but that's the thing is I wouldn't know how to tweak it if I'd never tweaked a deck before. I have to play and really like get into it and try things and see what's working and synergizing, which I will say every single week. I hate that word, but still, you have to see what works together. And I'm not going to learn that. Like I can't look at a deck right now that somebody else has built and go, oh, that would totally work for me if I just took out those 2 cards and put in these 2 cards. So
I don't know. And I'm not saying like taking out whatever I took out of Artosis' priest deck and throwing 2-drops is the right thing to do.
But you played with it a little bit, and then you thought about it, and then you tried something, and it's the same process that you're doing, Jocelyn. It's just having a starting
with a different starting point.
Yeah, like I mean, for example, I went to art school. One of the things we do are master copies. You pick
trace, right? It's just tracing school, right?
You don't trace. You pick.
Garrett went to tracing school.
Yes. I put a light underneath everything and just traced it. No, you pick a piece from an artist that you want to, and you
want to trace. I got it.
Freehand paint it, and I'm not I don't go then and sell it and call it my own damn thing, but you learn a lot by copying it. You learn tons of things like, holy crap, I didn't know I could make a hand with 4 paint strokes. I don't need to get in there with my 2-hair brush and actually spend 3 hours on a hand.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Everything you draw always starts with an S, right? Like pretty much that's like the.
I prefer happy trees.
Okay.
Happy
I
tree.
prefer happy trees.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
a cool happy tree here and a happy tree here.
Jocelyn, your boyfriend's an artist. I'm sure he understands what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get mad at me for saying tracing school later.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys have the same degree.
I already sent him a text and told him to, make you sleep on the couch or whatever.
Oh,
So there's that. Dills, I don't know. I'll beat you in bowling next time we hang out.
Oh, really? Okay.
well, it's not like he can beat you in Hearthstone.
Ooh.
Oh, I did.
Shots fired.
We Friday night before the Team Liquid Open, which we did not. We have an interesting story about. We sparred, and I did quite well against Mr. Dills.
Actually, yeah, you beat me several times.
Yeah, with decks he helped me build, but yeah.
I was trying stupid stuff before that, and I literally thought I was in a lot of trouble because of that warrior deck. I was like,
Oh yeah, did you
no
ever?
way I can win with this deck.
I think you took one game off me with that warrior deck against my shaman. I think it was.
It's just too gimmicky, and like you have to get the right combination of cards in your hands. And I'm starting to realize that combo decks are not for me. I just like a hand where no matter what I get, I can play it. Like,
Yeah.
be able to play something. Like every now and then you get those perfect little group of cards, but to build decks around having those combos is, I think, just an iffy proposition.
Yeah.
Because every now and then you'll crush somebody, but mostly you'll not get the cards you need, and that's
Yeah.
a problem.
Jocelyn, add another word to the words you're sick of saying every week: inevitability. Make friends with it.
Oh,
It's in it.
Yeah.
But
I refuse.
you did really well with me, like playing those games. I'll say this: I also probably wasn't going to play my best because I did stay up until 4 a.m. streaming.
Oh, okay, sure. Likely story. Just like Jocelyn's games that she won when no one was watching.
I mean, doing all the, I literally put in my stream practice for the TL Open. All I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to practice constructed. And then at a certain point, people in the stream were like, "Hey, let's just do an arena." And then I arenas after that. So yeah, and then I stayed up way too late. I did wake up early enough. However, I got in front of my computer and I just sat there, just staring at it and not really paying attention, and didn't check in. So
Yeah, so Dills and I both registered for the Team Liquid Open, the third one that was just this past weekend. Dills, you missed check-in by about 3 minutes.
yeah, I had no idea I was supposed to check.
I kept checking the list, and I was just like, I can see Garrett. I see Garrett right there. Where's Dills? Come on, Dills. Refresh. I'm like, oh man, maybe I should text him.
In my defense, I texted Dills. I said, "Good morning, man. You ready for this?" And he didn't.
None of you texted me saying, "Hey, check in." Your fault, guys.
Yeah, it's all us.
I don't know. You should have just been like, "Yeah, I'm ready," and you've been like, I don't know, like, had you?
I even wrote in the chat like several times. I was even like chatting in the IRC chat, like saying like, "Hey, what's up, guys? What's going?" And people were responding to me. They're like, "Hey, what's up, Dills? How's it going?" And didn't know. I had no freaking idea that there was a check-in.
Didn't you actually like at some point type in, "This is Dills. I'm checking in."
Dills.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
That's how you check in. Yes. Yeah. I think that should count, though.
You should be able to go to work with a time clock and just yell, "I'm clocking in,
Dills here. Dills is here.
present."
That's what I do when I get to work, though. So.
Like that's how they should do it. It seems like they should have some guy that's pretty much a substitute teacher that goes down the list mispronouncing everyone's name, and everyone just is present, and that's how you check in for tournaments.
You should use this system for everything. So, like, when you get to a stop sign, you just say, "All right, I'm going," and then you just go. Like, anything you need to do, like when you get to like a restaurant, you don't wait for service. You just say like, "Dills is here, and I want a hamburger and French fries," and just
Now, please.
I think it make a lot of things a little easy. That's all I'm saying.
We all just ran around yelling instructions. Really?
Wonderful. Well, out of the I actually managed to check in, and out of the 100 and some odd people that registered, I got matched up against my buddy Oathmaster from my Alliance World of Warcraft guild.
You mean the most epic Hearthstone player of all time?
Apparently, because
Yep.
he
Amazing.
wiped the floor with me. Now,
In your defense,
I was about
I
to
was
say,
watching the stream and you had some horrible draws. Like,
Yeah.
really bad.
both of you.
Had 3 or 3, 4 or higher drops, like in each opening hand.
In the Paladin game, I want to say I had a 5-drop, a 5-drop, and a 6-drop in my opening hand.
Yeah.
After mulliganing. Clearly, I would not have kept that in my hand willingly.
But see, what this tells me though is just put in another 1-drop and another 2-drop, because when you up those odds, like it helps so much.
At the end of the day, if you have 4 of anything over 4 mana, you can still statistically draw crap.
Yeah, true. True. I mean, if you think about it, like if you have six cards that are 2 mana or less, your chance of getting one of them is really high at the start, but it's not 100%. So it's true. You can still get screwed by the draw, but it's harder to get screwed when you have so many cards that are under that threshold, which is why like every deck I have now has that, because I've gotten screwed enough times, and it sucks. Like when you're just sitting there, pass. Okay, so again, you're going to lose. 2 passes at the beginning of the game, you lose.
Yeah, exactly. If this was Magic, I would have mulliganed down to like 2 cards if I had that option. That's how bad my hands were.
That, you know what though, that would be an interesting thing in Hearthstone if you could mulligan like once and then be like, crap, no 2-drops. All right, I'll mulligan again for 1 less card. Like that, I don't know if that wouldn't work. I think that might actually work. Like you'd start with a card disadvantage, obviously, but to have something to play on turn 1 or 2, I think it would be worth it in some situations.
Imagine if you, if you're going first though, you're down to 2 cards right away.
Yes.
Then you
yes.
pull a third, but you have no control over what that third card is.
No, it's true, and that would be rough. But I mean, it's just a thought. It might work. It might be terrible, but it might work.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting. It's super simple. Which I think on its face, Hearthstone is striving to be, simple to pick up.
Yeah, I don't think they want to add in a lot of things like that. But has anybody ever tried playing Magic where you draw 2 cards every draw?
No.
No. I always wondered about that because I felt like in Magic I was always out of cards unless I played a blue deck. But basically, it was just I would be out of cards so quick because I was playing 2 cards a hand or 2 cards a turn for the first like 3 turns or 4 turns because it's a land card than something else, right? But if you always drew 2, people are saying Howling Mine. Okay, I don't know what that is, but
I have no idea what that is. Nope.
I guess it's a card.
No, or it might be a format. I don't know. There's different formats of Magic as well. I have absolutely no idea. I've only been playing for a year now, so.
Yeah, I have this like recollection of lots of games where I end up top decking by like turn 7. It's just a lot of games ended up that way. So, and starting with 7 cards, it seems crazy to suddenly have no cards by then. But
sounds like you need to work on your curve, sir.
I guess so.
You got too many low drops or something. I don't know. Anyway, back to the Team Liquid Open. So I didn't. So Dales, you missed check-in. I lost in the first round. We did not have a good time. But you wanted to talk about one of the decks specifically. What deck was that?
Well, I want to talk kind of about just everybody's decks, but especially this Warlock deck. So I did watch the cast. Trump cast the Final Four, the semifinals, and we saw some just basically aggression. Nothing but aggression. The only name I recognized was Sixa. Sixa he's done pretty well in a lot of decks, and Crip actually copied Sixa's really aggressive Paladin deck for the BlizzCon tournament, which I think it's up here. It's called like Sixa's Miniatures or something like that, which is basically the deck where Crip's his idea was completely empty his hand and then play Divine Favor and fill it back up.
That's funny. I recognize 2 of the players here from StarCraft, not from Hearthstone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's there's a lot of people coming over from StarCraft and playing this game
Yeah.
because the strategy is still there and everything like that. So it's it lends itself very well. So Specialist, who won the tournament, he in the finals he actually won with his mage deck 3 straight times, which his mage deck is out of control. It's got like King Mukla in it and Leroy Jenkins. It's like one of the most aggressive decks I've ever seen.
Oh, jeez.
But so he just destroyed his final opponent. But the match before that, I can't remember if that was against Sixer or not, but he played this Warlock deck that I shit you not, had 14 cards that cost 1 or less. 14.
Wow.
Like almost half of his deck cost 1 or less. Yeah.
Wow.
So basically it was load the board up, life tap, load the board up again, life tap, load the board. Like it was just, and I think he killed, like no game went past turn 5 or something like that. It was nuts to watch.
That's scary.
Yeah. And that is the meta right now is how fast can I kill you?
Wow.
Everyone's seeming to do that. So I'm wondering if there's a way to turn the tide. And I would love to talk to some Hearthstone devs and ask them if this is how they want the game to be. Because I don't know if that's what they had in mind,
Yeah, it's so, again, not to beat a dead horse, but the meta is shifting constantly. Because I can't help but think a taunt-heavy deck would just hard counter these things.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
But I mean taunt-heavy, not like what we've been seeing recently, which is like no taunt cards, but cards that give minions taunt. But
Sure.
I mean, like you have nothing but shield masters, bears, defenders, just everything has taunt on it.
Let's give it a shot. You want to try it? I mean, I think what we should do is we should try building this deck.
You should
and
build a
see what
warlock
happens.
deck, and I'll build a taunt. It would be really good as the shaman because they have that not ancestral spirit, the spirit wolves.
Yeah, you got the Spirit Wolves, which is a 3-mana 2 taunt card. But
Overload you though
I
for
would
2.
be interesting. I'd be interested in seeing this. I think there are some very valid taunt cards. So, like obviously Taz Dingo, but the problem is there's like Fen Creeper, but there's other ones where the stats don't really match the cost, and that's the problem that I have with taunt. Taunt comes with a penalty. So, a 6-mana card with no taunt is a 6/7. A 6-mana card with taunt is a 6/5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, even though it's taunt, it still dies to cards that might stay alive.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, I think. So, I would love to try it out. I would love to try it out. We'll do it. Maybe we should do a video or something, Garrett. And just do that test. Then maybe we'll be responsible for the metagame shifting back.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Or just play that damn freeze everything mage deck. I don't know.
Yeah, that's their option too.
Everyone
You
just starts
freeze a
playing
lot
mage.
of things.
Yeah, freeze all the things.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think, though? Do you think, like, Jocelyn, do you think that Blizzard wants this game to be this way? Like, just this ultra fast, everyone's going straight for the face kind of game?
Well, no, obviously not. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put, like 7, 8, 9 mana cards in the game if they just wanted everybody to play 1s and 2s. So, but again, it's the same, you see the same sort of thing in StarCraft where, there is one popular strategy and then everybody figures out how to capture it and everyone calls, OP for a month or whatever, however long it takes. But, it always swings back.
They're still
It's
crying
still
OP
balanced.
over. They're still crying OP over Widow Mines since Heart of the Swarm is
Well.
released. I think it's. I think the obvious answer is hell no. I mean, why would? I don't think Blizzard's intention is to have the game
No.
played in only one style for the rest of forever.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that. No, I don't
Which
think
means
that's
there's
the
got to
case.
be a counter. We just haven't found it yet.
That's
Get on that,
true.
Dills.
The
Come on.
game is so new. Like
Well, yeah.
this, it is not even close to figured out.
Yes, but this is what's happened is that Blizzard created this playground for everyone to play in, and they may have thought that the playground was totally balanced no matter what type of play style you had. But once you let everybody in to start playing, people start to figure out how to break the game, which is, okay, guess what? If I load up my deck with 1 and 2 drops, I can kill you before you can even do anything. And so maybe if they don't want it to be that way, they're going to actually have to change how these cards work, or do something like add more life. Because if there's more life, there'd be more time, and you could turn the game in your favor. And the reason you see like so much more aggression in Construct is because you can literally put those cards in to get that exact draw. Whereas Arena is a little bit of a slower game because you can't necessarily guarantee yourself to get these fast picks. So, it's one of those weird things. I don't know what they'll actually ultimately do, but I would love to ask them and see if this is something that concerns them, because it's interesting how the game has changed so rapidly.
Yeah. I'm not sure they'd have an answer at this point in time, because I feel like it's a recent development.
It is
to this extreme.
Yeah,
Like
but it's getting faster and faster and faster.
Right.
And I was watching Crip's stream last night for a little while, and he was having the same experience. He was playing Arena, and he's like, "Holy crap, I'm getting run over!" Like I'm picking cards I thought were great, and like I thought this deck was amazing, and I'm dead on like turn 6. So it's not like it's just a like I'm the only one seeing this. Like everyone's seeing this, and it's weird. It's a weird trend, and I like the control game better, me personally. And I think you guys agree, right? I mean, the control game is more fun.
Yeah,
I always go for control.
Yeah.
You will not see me playing a mono red deck in Magic anytime soon.
Yeah. Oh, the red deck wins thing, right? Like that's like a thing that
It's the cheapest way to get into high level constructed Magic is with a mono red deck.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but
I don't have any idea what that means.
Magic is expensive. That's all you really need to know.
Okay.
the red deck is built around like direct damage spells and stuff, right? Basically,
it's aggressive as all hell.
yeah. It's
It's
kill your guy. And
a lot of guys that can attack the turn they're played, but they have like 1 life, but they do like 3 damage or something, and there's tons of spells that deal direct damage, which in Magic is super important. For example, Jocelyn, in Magic, you can't choose to attack their minions. You can only attack the opposing player, and then the player says, I now declare a blocker of my guys that are on the board.
Right.
So that's how Magic works.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Enough Magic talk for today.
I was gonna say, I think that's the second or third time we've swung over to Magic tonight.
I think we're talking about a card game. Like it's other card games are going to come up.
And
I'm teasing you.
When we get into heavy balance and meta talk like this too, it's hard not to just go to that well. It's like, well, what are they doing over here? That's not too hard, because there's a lot of weird things in Magic that are just never going to work in Hearthstone.
Yeah. Saban in the chat makes a good point. The best counter to an aggro deck is another aggro deck, and this is what's happening.
Yeah, and
everyone's playing an aggro deck against another aggro deck.
There's no strategy to that. It's boring.
Yeah.
I just don't.
It comes down to who got the better draws, basically, like who got all their small cards first.
Yeah, it becomes pure luck as opposed to skill with a monochrome of luck.
And none of them use any card draw because they're not expecting to get past turn 6. So like they don't care about drawing cards. Like if you die with cards in your hand, you played it wrong, apparently. So which makes sense. I mean, if you die with cards in your hand, like why didn't you play those cards? But these guys don't care about having cards in their hand. They care about doing as much damage as they can by turn 6 and 7, and that's pretty much it. Like you get down to 3 life, how are you going to come back? Because the next card that comes out is going to have charge. So
I don't know. I'll be curious to see where it goes.
Yeah, I want to ask Blizz devs if they want to change this game from where it is. Like more health, different amounts of cards. I don't know. There's something they could do. We'll see.
Speaking of the devs, they're aware that Alex Straza is currently not working as intended, and they want to fix it. I don't think we talked about this on previous shows, but Alex Straza, the legendary dragon card, currently it's got a battle cry on it, and what it does is it sets a target hero's health to 15. You can set your own health to 15 if you're below it and you need a heal, or you can set your opponent's health to 15 if you want to get them lower than they currently are. Say they're above 15. issue is currently also removes all armor on the target hero, which
Which is awesome.
apparently not what it's supposed to do.
I feel like it should though.
I feel like
feel
it
like it
totally should.
Armor isn't health.
Yeah. Yeah, but then this card is like a warrior is a direct counter to Alexstrasza.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't think that one class should be a direct counter to a card. I don't know. I feel like it should say removes all armor and sets health to 15 because just because you got a chance to armor up, like if I'm playing a priest, I'm screwed, and if you're playing a warrior, okay, awesome, you're still at 30 health. That's a little insane to me.
But
So
30 health plus 15 armor is still worse than 15 health and 15 armor.
no. But you'd go down to 15 and still keep your 15 armor. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but it's still an improvement.
He's
at 30 health as opposed to 45.
But yeah, okay, sure. But I mean, like again, though, it doesn't matter. It's still just like it's not the same for them as it is for everybody else. Because they have the armor option. Not everybody else has it.
Right,
so.
but by making armor even a thing and not allowing health pools to go above 30, Blizzard has already just made that a rule. Like, listen, if you can get armor, it is a bonus to that specific hero. So druids and warriors, this is something you have. This is allowed. So by having, because now all of a sudden this is far more detrimental to warriors and druids than it is to any other class in the game.
How?
Well, because I mean,
warrior's already gonna be. Like, no warrior's ever going...
That's their hero power. You basically said your hero power is now useless.
Even if you can do it, 5 times in a row and get 10 armor and be all awesome, I could play as a mage this one card and totally wipe out your 5 turns of hero power.
Chat room makes a good point, too, that it's negating spent mana as opposed to
a
number...
priest is negating spent mana, too. Like, if I'm healing myself for 2, it's negating that. So that's what I was saying. Like, it is an advantage for a warrior, because... every warrior who knows how armor works, like you see a lot of warriors who are like, oh, I should armor up before I attack with my weapon. No, you shouldn't. You should attack, then armor up afterwards, because you actually have certain cards that help you the lower your health is, right? And it doesn't matter if it's armor or health. And especially if Alexstrasza doesn't remove armor, that will always be the way to go, right? So basically it's a heal without the possible penalty of Alexstrasza removing it. So, I just disagree. I think that there shouldn't be any class that directly counters a card like this, because warriors definitely have the advantage in this scenario. Well, that's just how I feel. You disagree, clearly. That's fine.
I don't know.
The chat room also makes a good point, is that you can't use the priest hero power when the priest is already at full health, right? So the warrior can be 30
already
and keep going and going and going and going.
Yeah. They also have cards like the Armor Smith.
Armor up.
Every time any of your guys takes damage, you get armor. So I've seen warriors get up to 40 armor with this card. And actually, not personally in a game, but on Reddit.
I was about to say, you're clearly doing something wrong in that game if you're letting it get that out of hand.
A warrior.
I've never seen it personally, but I've seen people love to post the weird thing that happened on Reddit, right? So I've seen this oh my god, I got the 30 health and 46 armor or something like that. So in that scenario, Alexstrasza would just be a useless card. It would do you no good at all, except being an 8/8, but it loses its effective ability basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're going to agree on this.
But that's fine. You're just wrong. That's all.
The way all our arguments end on this show. I will take that, because Blizzard agrees with me, so I'm right. Hopeful changes to arena deck visibility is also a subject that was brought up by Blizzard or Hearthstone devs this week. Hearthstone producer Young Woo responded to a tweet a week ago which asked, is it possible to have the deck still visible after you finish an arena run? And he said that's something that Hearthstone designer Ben Brody is really excited to do. We'll figure out the right timing to get that in.
I'm glad about this for sure. Because it sucks when you get to, if you get a 9-win deck and then you're like, oh crap, I want to show everybody, this deck.
I disagree with you entirely. This is a terrible thing.
Totally. Well, I mean,
yeah.
or
What's
then I can take the
spiteful?
armor off my deck, but no, like I think this is cool, and I don't understand why it goes away. It's like pointless to have it disappear.
If I hit 5 wins, I've started just screen capping my deck list. Like if it's like, okay, if I've hit 5, all right, you're up.
Gary, you've never hit 5 wins.
I was gonna say when I hit 5 wins, that's a good idea.
No, that's the highest I've gotten. God, I suck at Arena. But it sounds like I'm gonna
Arena's
suck a lot
tough.
harder. Yeah. Well, now I know just to mindlessly pick 1 and 2 drops and hope for the best.
There you go. It's all good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So cool. Looking forward to being able to see my terrible Arena decks after I've sent them off to die. It's time for some strategy. Last week we wanted to talk about secret busting, but kind of fell out. Didn't have enough time. So, Dills, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna talk about secrets and secret busting. And you guys definitely chime in with all of your knowledge of secret busting as well, because this is actually one of the things that people have asked about, and it's a hard thing to deal with. I've actually seen some cheat sheets and things like that, but once you play it enough, you kind of know what the common secrets are. But we'll just talk about them real quick.
Right, and if you're a new player or someone who hasn't gotten in the beta yet and haven't read up about these kind of things, when I first found secrets, I'm like, sweet, it shows me how much mana they cost to play. I'm going to learn what ones are what mana, and I'll know what secret it is. Wait, never mind. All secret. If a class has a secret, all of its secrets are the exact same mana cost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
you
all of the
can't-
paladins cost 1, all the
Yeah.
hunters cost 2, and all the mages cost 3. So doesn't matter. You can't pay attention and figure it out. And they're never going to change that because that's stupid. Like, why would you have one that costs 2 and one that costs 3? But basically, so there you go. So mage, hunter, and paladin, these are the classes that use secrets. And it's important to know how to bust these secrets, basically.
Right. And
So-
again, newbie explanation, secret is triggered by some action on your opponent's turn.
Yes, there's some sort of action that you can take that will trigger the secret. And currently, there's really no way to not trigger the secret except for hunters have a card called Flare. And what Flare does is Flare removes the secret from the opponent.
Yep. And you get to draw a card. I like Flare.
And you get to draw a card, yeah. But so even if you're playing they had to put that in because basically it'd be a dead card against, any secret or non-secret playing class. So,
Yeah.
but also it removes stealth, so it's got a lot of uses. Actually, it's pretty good. It's pretty good
It's
little
not
card.
a bad card. It's so good in Hunter versus Hunter.
Yeah, I basically always just rock 1, especially in that hunter 1-turn kill deck. If you play another hunter and they put explosive trap up, that's like the direct counter. So if you have a flare in your hand, boom, problem solved. No explosive trap. But basically, so we'll talk about what the common ones are for each class and like kind of the steps you're going to want to take to get rid of those things. So basically, we'll start with the mage because mage right now is the ones that suck. They suck to play against. So with a mage, you're mostly going to see Vaporize, Mirror Entity, Ice Barrier, and now you're starting to see Ice Block.
So all of them.
Yeah.
And Counterspell.
Counterspell and Spellbender are a little bit more. They're a little rarer than before. But like, let's say you see somebody play Archmage Antonitis and then play a secret right after. That's a counterspell or a Spellbender, guaranteed.
They're
'cause trying to
protecting
protect
their
it,
their
yeah.
legendary, yeah.
So you can't mind control it or whatever.
And they just got a fireball out of it.
And they got a fireball for it, exactly. So if a mage plays a secret, basically the steps to take are if you have weak weenie minions on board, try to attack with one of the smaller minions first. Like first step, attack his face with a small minion. If it kills it, vaporize, right? You don't want to attack it with your big guy and lose your big guy. It's really, really terrible.
Vaporize destroys target attacking creature.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, not target
I've
attacking.
seen
Attacking creature.
I've seen, like someone build up a Twilight Drake to like a 4/9 or something and be all excited about it, and then a mage plays Vaporize, and then
They swing
You
with
just
it
lose it.
and
Yeah.
gone.
yeah. If you see a mage play a secret and then not put anything on the board, good chance that it's a Vaporize. because they want you to attack their face.
Especially if it's late game and you've got some big guys on the board.
Exactly.
Find a 2/1 and attack with it.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea to just not attack with it until you can get another guy out on the board that you don't mind losing. It's really not a bad idea.
Good time to be a paladin.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Mirror entity means that they will copy the next creature that you play. This does not mean that they will copy like a totem or a paladin's token. They won't copy.
It has to be a played card.
Yeah, you got to put a card out for it to trigger. So again, you want to play your 1/2, your 2/1. It doesn't get the battle cry, so don't worry about playing something that has a battle cry. It's just going to copy.
Even like the defender, which isn't technically a battle cry, but when it enters the battlefield, it gives minions on the left and right of it +1/+1 and taunt. It doesn't do that either. Any kind of effect that happens when the card enters the field does not happen.
Yeah,
but
the defenders is a battle cry. It's it gives it when it comes out, it does this. But when these come out, like if it's a novice engineer, they're not going to draw a card.
Right, but cards with persistent buffs like the Murlocs that give buffs that aren't when enters, just as long as they're up, they do get those kind of things.
Exactly. So what is it, Stormwind Champion or whatever? It gives everything a buff.
Yeah, +1/+1.
Yeah, careful. Don't play that.
If you're not sure, don't play the Stormwind Champion.
Exactly.
So,
the other one you see a lot in Arena mostly, and in the Wreckful decks that are supposed to just like live a long time, is Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier is not something that normally worries me very much. It basically just gives the mage 8 armor, which is instantly taken off by whatever the attack was. So they instantly lose some of it, so it's not that bad. So it's basically the same as Vaporize. Attack with your weenie creature first, and then you'll know that'll basically bust two possibilities right then and there. So those are basically like what you want to do against a mage. If you play a mage that has Ice Block, it can be really tough because now if you've gone through all the possibilities, right, and none of them have triggered, it's Ice Block. And what that means is when you get them low on health and you're about to kill them, don't exact kill them with like a 5 attack guy. Try to get them down to 1 health and then get the killing blow in if you can. Because basically you want to leave them at 1, not at 6,
Okay, so what does Ice Block do?
If lethal damage is dealt, instead block that damage and become immune for the rest of the turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they cannot die that turn.
Right.
So when a mage has Ice Block out, a mage doesn't worry about death on the next turn. So it basically gives them 1 more turn to go straight for your face. And this is the big benefit of playing Ice Block.
And you can have 2 of those in your deck, so you can give yourself 2 extra lives.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to die 3 times, and it's a big thing. So
when a mage can play 2 Pyroblasts and 2 Fireballs, that can mean the difference between victory and a loss.
Absolutely, especially if they have two Pyroblasts in their hand and they know this. It's like put that thing out there a couple turns earlier. They get to their Pyroblast turn, they play it. They know they're not going to die. Then the turn after, they kill you. So it's a very, very powerful secret because you can't die. You just can't.
I don't think I have any of those.
They're rare.
Yeah, I think they're actually epic. They're
really epic. Card. I'm sorry. Yeah,
they're a really good card. So basically, mages have some really, really powerful secrets. There's also Spellbender and Counterspell. Counterspell basically just cancels your spell.
When I was first looking at secrets, I'm like, this is the best thing in the game. It's the only counter spell in the game.
Yeah.
And then they blow like their worst spell on it or something.
Yeah.
It's what's funny though, it's not played very much. So you can really surprise people with that card now.
That is true. And honestly, in most decks nowadays, I doubt are running spells that aren't worth playing. So you're almost always going to get something you're happy is not happening.
True.
If you've tested all the other possibilities and you know it has to be one of those 2, obviously you might not know that it's not Ice Block until you can actually kill them. But Hasimo in the chat just made my point for me. Coin is a spell. So all the people who complain about how the coin shouldn't be a spell, here's one case again where it's pretty advantageous.
That is, yeah, that's actually probably the best thing to trigger the counterspell with, if you know it's a counterspell.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
the coin, because it's the least detrimental to you. Anything else, I mean, it's good. You're going to lose premium removal. You're going to lose a good buff. You're going to lose direct damage.
Yeah.
Plus
So,
the mana it costs to cast the spell.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, imagine that
It's so long.
imagine you lose and assassinate a hex or a polymorph to a counterspell.
I don't have to imagine it.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the worst feelings in the game. It's
You
not
know
good.
what sucks? They play Archmage Antonidas. You get all excited because you have mind control, and then you go, "Hey, I'll grab that." No, I won't. And then
And there goes my mind control.
yeah. So yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. But it's a powerful card, and for whatever reason, a lot of mages aren't playing it.
It doesn't synergize well with the current mage meta, which is to freeze everything and go for the face.
A lot of mages aren't playing Archmage anymore either. Everyone thought it was like this amazing card, but
I don't like it. It's too
again,
slow.
it's hard to synergize with. It's hard to get the spell off. You need to cast it and cast the spell in the very same turn, or else you really, really run the risk of not getting anything out of it. So it's a tough card to play.
Yeah.
Paladins have some pretty powerful secrets, and I've actually learned some pretty cool ways to work with these. So I think the most common one, and you guys will probably agree, is the noble sacrifice. That's the one you see them, right?
Yeah, seeing it a lot less often now after the Innkeeper's Invitational.
Well, I think Trip was running it. I'm not sure anybody else was running it, but I'm pretty sure he had at least one.
No, but
I
Artosis
feel
won,
like I'm
so
like
everyone's
3
ripping
or
off
4
Artosis.
weeks behind.
Yeah, yeah. But so basically, what Noble Sacrifice does is when something attacks, and it's a weapon attack, like a Druid hero power attack, any kind of like character attacking, instead of hitting what it aimed for, a 2/1 minion will pop up. He'll yell, "Get down!" and then he takes the attack instead. So there's some really good situations where you can use this thing. You can knock something down to 2, then play this, and you know you're going to kill it on the next turn. What did I see today? I think, it was Hafu played. She had a Sword of Justice in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
She played the Get Down Secret.
Oh,
It
that
came
is evil.
buffed.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and then it didn't die, and it stayed on the
Yeah.
board.
I
Sort
had
of,
one today that I did that to, and then I got it up to a 10-7, I think, with Divine Shield with all of my buffs and stuff, and I was just like, yes!
so you won
Best
the
accidental minion card ever.
you won the game with a noble sacrifice, dude.
I did, which
That's-
is actually called a defender when he stays on the board.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
it
most
stays-
offensive defender ever.
It's it's a pretty epic little card there, and it really you have to kind of trick your opponent into falling into the trap. But if you are playing against a paladin and they bust out a secret, it's most likely a noble sacrifice, especially if they got something down to 2 health. So the way to get around this is attack like if you're a rogue, attack with your dagger first, attack with your 1/1 first, attack with something that's you don't mind losing.
Treat it like
And-
vaporize.
Yeah, and know that you're probably going to lose it, whatever it is, but you'll keep your good guy, and you don't lose the attack of your bigger, more beefy minion. So just make sure you play around it first, and you're good to go. The other common one you're going to see is you're going to see Redemption. So what Redemption does is it brings something back to life. Now, the trick here is that it brings it back to life with its original... It brings it back to life with 1 health, but it brings it back to life with its original kind of state. So if it had Divine Shield, it'll come back with Divine Shield. If it had a Death Rattle, it'll come back with the Death Rattle.
If it natively has it, if you put Divine Shield on it and then it dies, it does not come back with Divine Shield.
That's a
So
very
what
good...
about... Sorry, what about Battle Cry? Does it, like, when it comes back, do you get the Battle Cry again, or is
No.
it just a Death Rattle?
It still
Doesn't-
technically has it, but it's
Right.
not coming. You're
But it
not
doesn't
playing the
count
card.
as replaying the card.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be pretty insane, though. And I don't
It's-
think that would be totally unbalanced, but it'd be pretty... Yeah, it'd be weird.
It's
but-
it's really good on Death Rattle cards. Just
Yeah,
killer
so-
on it.
Tombstone X just made a really good point. Redemption on Tyrion Forge Ring. absolutely epic.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that card do?
Okay, so Tyrion Forgeling is a 6/6 that has Divine Shield, Taunt, and has a Death Rattle. Summon a 5/3 weapon. So
Nice.
He's a legendary card.
yeah, he's a you'll get the weapon. He'll come back to life, have Divine Shield, so he can take 2 attacks.
And taunt.
Yeah, and taunt, and you'll already have a 5/3, so you'll get a second one when he dies again, which is insane.
You can start swinging that away with that weapon and with him, and if he dies again, you just get another badass weapon. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that weapon is basically the best weapon you're ever going to see in the game. That's not rated up.
vomit-inducing. Like,
Unfortunately, Tyrion, I'm discovering, gets hexed, sheeped, controlled. Like it never works.
whatever
out.
they can do to take away his attributes to not
Yeah.
risk the likelihood of a redemption.
The other best card to get redeemed
Redeemed.
is the Sunwalker. The Sunwalker is the 4/5 taunt that
Divine
also has
Shield.
the Divine Shield. So it basically still takes 2 more attacks. So you get four attacks out of that guy, which is pretty sick.
How do I not have a paladin card with Divine Shield that also has some type of bubble hearth ability where I can return it to my hand?
Ooh.
How is that not a thing? At least from flavor wise. I don't care if it's a good card. I want the bubble hearthing pally.
They got to add that. That would be amazing. I think there's a lot of things that we could add to this game that aren't in there yet, mechanics and stuff. Like there's no card besides the Darkscale Healer that just does 1 heal. But what if there was cards that did a persistent heal or damage? There isn't there's only the legendaries doing that, but there could be some really cool things
The Shaman Totem does persistent healing.
yeah, Shaman Totem. And then there's Baron Geddon that does persistent damage, but
I
there's
hate
not
that card.
something that would throw a random disease on something that would then do tick away 1 damage every turn. Something like that. There could be some cool stuff, man. So
I'm so excited to see what they do with expansion sets.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, Lightwell does persistent healing. Yeah, sure. There you go. That's another one.
That was my favorite priest card before I figured out what I was doing.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I
Not
guess
so good anymore.
because I never see Lightwell.
Yeah.
But okay, so the last paladin secret that you really got to worry about is repentance, and repentance is really rare. You're not going to see this very much. Basically, what it does is when you play a minion, it reduces that minion's health to 1. So it's pretty easy to work around this one. Just play a minion that has 1 health, and basically he wasted a card. So you're not going to see that one very often, though, and I would most likely attempt to play around the other things first. So, playing around Redemption and Noble Sacrifice, basically kill something and when it comes back to life isn't going to come back to life all powerful. Attack with your weenie guys first, and if neither one of those has triggered a secret, then play a minion with 1 health, and you're good to go.
I'm seeing a missed secret here, although I think I know why.
Yeah, you probably are, because I didn't put... Yeah, I didn't
Eye
put
for
one.
an eye.
Yeah, Eye for... Okay, Eye for an Eye sucks and no one plays it. So, just don't even...
I totally have Eye for an Eye in my Paladin deck.
Take it
Awesome.
out.
Take it out. Take it out now.
Take it out right now.
Log in right now. Share the screen so we can see it. And then think about what you've done.
Oh.
No.
That out of there right now.
No,
It's Eye for an Eye basically means that when you take damage, you do that damage back to the other guy.
And it's
It
so
makes me
easy
feel
to play
so
around.
much better about life. It's like going for my face, eh? Well, how about this in your face? Pow!
But they start with their 1/1s and then they swing
It
with
doesn't
their
matter,
8/8.
Jared. It doesn't. Every point of damage matters.
That's the problem, though. It's basically a card, you spend a mana on it to do 1 damage to the other guy. And not
Right.
even 1
Space.
damage without you taking damage is the same amount of damage you just took. So, and again, if people are playing around your paladin secrets by attacking with their little guy first, things like that, they're not going to do the big damage.
Yeah, they're already inclined to try and pop a secret with a low health, low damage minion. So they probably aren't even.
late game, and all they have is big guys left, and then they come and then they hit me with an 8 or something,
You
and then I
started.
go, ha!
You started that.
True.
You started that sentence with "what if,"
Yeah, what if?
and that is the path to the dark side.
Exactly. You're like, what if I play a light well and then I divine spirit and then I don't? It's like, okay, sure. What if?
Okay, Jocelyn, if that ever happens, then you better be streaming.
Most of the time, it does not happen that way. So
Thanks,
you're not going to see it very often. I literally left it out because it's so rare to see this thing.
Yeah, and this can all change. They could balance it and make it better, but at the moment, eye for an eye is crap.
Oh.
Are you saying people shouldn't shred it, Garrett?
I would shred the shit out of that card. If it is it a basic card or no? I think it's a common or something.
Shred it every day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, it just goes. Zzz. I open it and just shortcut it right to the I don't even put it in the collection.
All right, so let's talk hunter traps. All the hunter secrets are basically traps, and they have some pretty powerful ones.
They're all kind of awesome. I love hunter secrets. I'm surprised the hunter isn't better. I really think hunter is the weakest hero.
Hey, come on!
Hey!
All right, hunter talk. Here we go. Explosive trap is the one you're going to see most often, and
It's really good.
very good reason for that. It's awesome. It basically is a consecrate on attack. It does 2 damage to everything, even your face, and oftentimes it will wipe all of your creatures off the board.
Well, the important thing there is all of your enemies' things, including your enemy's
Yes.
face. Your stuff is untouched.
You're safe.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, that's why I'm saying it's like a consecrate. 'Cause
Gotcha.
it's like a 2-mana consecrate. I mean, how sick is that?
Yeah.
So when you see that secret come out and you have like 2 guys on board and they both have 2 health, you lost those 2 guys. I'm sorry. I've seen people like try to play something like that buffs health or something like that. But the problem is when you do that, you then lose that other creature too. Or that other creature gets damaged. It's much better to just go ahead and just attack with those 2 guys, or attack with one of them and lose both of them, then start playing more guys. The biggest mistake I see around explosive trap is I put the secret up, then the dude loads the board up with 4 more guys before he attacks, and then all of a sudden everything dies.
The only time I think where that's kind of okay is if you're playing a priest and you can power word shield it, attack, and then heal it.
Yes, that's okay. Or I've seen times you can play that dark scale healer and heal things up past 2, and that's fine. Most of the time though, it's they only have 2 persistent health anyway. So one thing you can do though is play your Worgen first, and then he enrages.
Yep.
But you don't want to do that on a turn when that Worgen can't attack. What I would do maybe is play a war. If you don't have a Worgen on board, and you have 1 guy on board, you can bust your Worgen out and not attack. Wait for the next turn, then attack and raise your Worgen. So there's ways you can use it to your advantage, but it's tough. It's hard.
Or again, if you're a priest, if you have 2 guys out, you drop a defender, buff them up, trigger it, they get hurt, drop a Northshire cleric, and then drop a circle of healing and draw a ton of cards.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
It's a what if scenario.
That's a pretty sick turn if you can pull that.
But there are times where you're just you couldn't be happier to see an explosive trap. You're like, thank you I'm using my thank you emote unironically.
Yeah. And most of the time against the hunter, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's an explosive trap when you see a secret come up. It's the most used one. All the OTK, the 1-turn kill hunter decks, that's the only secret they use. That's kind of what you're seeing now anyway. Now, being said...
Quick, before we move on, one thing you guys have mentioned a couple times tonight that I think probably a definition would be good. I feel like I need a bumper or something, definition time. Persistent health.
You should have.
So, yeah. Persistent health. Ready? Go.
Wait, what? What?
Persistent health.
Oh, persistent health? Oh, so what I mean by that is if it's a 3/2, it has 2 persistent health.
Right.
You can't raise it above 2. So when Garrett's oh, you could heal it with whatever, you can't heal it if it's only got 2 health.
Right. That's where you would need to do something to buff it to make it live through the explosive trap.
So you have to buff it above the 2 health. So it's not worth it to even try to do something to it in most cases if it's only got the 2 health. So basically that's what we mean by that. Now the other most common one that I think you'll see for a hunter is snipe. Snipe does 4 damage to a creature the moment it's played to the board. Again, this doesn't work on totems and
Doesn't work on
paladin.
summoned minions. It works on played minions.
Played minions, exactly. So there's 2 ways to deal with this. You could play a card you don't give a crap if it dies. Maybe a leper gnome. A leper gnome will still get its 2 damage to the hero.
Yeah, something
so-
with Death Rattle isn't a terrible option.
Exactly. You could play a harvest golem would be fine as well. It would die and then summon another golem, so it'd be okay. The other way to deal with it is play something with like a turtle is a really good thing to play. The Snapjaw.
Oh, the
It's got-
2/7.
Oh.
So bust that thing out, it doesn't die.
Does
or something with-
anyone have a Snapjaw in their deck
I've drafted
on
it
purpose?
arena, but it's not in any constructed deck. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
I've
okay,
seen a
maybe.
lot. Like, I'm still playing down at the 2-star gold level, so I know you guys are way above me, but I've seen a lot of the Snapjaw turtles
Okay.
lately. So,
It depends what kind of deck you have. If you have a priest deck that's trying to buff everything's health and then make its attack equal, you might see those.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess Snapjaw's kind of badass in that scenario.
Yeah. But again, it's not a creature you're going to have very often. But in arena, you'll see them because at 4 mana, sometimes it's the best pick you have, and it's got a big body. It can do a few attacks most of the time, so it can 2-for-1 things.
Real quick, has anyone moved up or down in their rank in like the last 2 weeks?
I have, but not much. I
'Cause
think
mine-
I was 1-star, now I'm 2-star, and the actually Iceworm in the chat room, we were talking about this on Twitter too. He's saying he has over 100 wins and is still 3-star copper, which yeah.
I'm still 3-star diamond, and I've been just
No, pumpkin.
destroying people, like relentlessly marauding with my paladin. It's
Is
not.
this broken or something?
I don't-
because
I don't
that
get
can't
it.
be right.
I don't know. I mean, I know that they mentioned, I think it was somewhere in and around BlizzCon, how they were taking your number of games into account. So, I mean, like, not to pick on Iceworm or anything, but, if you've got 100 wins, but you've played 1,000 games, then maybe you're still at a lower level than someone like, well, I think I have 40.
The nicest
5
way of
wins?
saying if you suck.
No! I'm Canadian. I'm very nice about all the things, but it's no, like, I mean, I think I have 43 or 45 wins, somewhere in and around there.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm up in gold, so I don't play as often. I play a lot against friends, but I don't play ranked ladder as often. So, I mean, I'm probably around 50-50 in ranked ladder. So I think it makes a difference, the number of games that you've actually played.
That is weird.
Yeah, it hasn't budged. Like 3-star diamond and just hasn't moved. I don't know.
No, Iceworm, I wasn't saying that you've played 1,000 games. Just using that as an example. Now I'm gonna get crap.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I got to 3-star master like within like 100 wins or something like that. So I don't get how this could be happening.
Yeah, I don't understand unless I'm like losing to the biggest noobs on the planet or something and just don't realize it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's there's something bugged here because that doesn't sound right.
It's borked.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right at all.
I don't know. Back to the
All right,
hunters.
so snipe. There you go. That's how you deal with it. Again, play a creature that you think. Like so, if you attack and an explosive trap doesn't go off, it's most likely snipe. So that's when you play a creature that won't die to it.
Won't die, or you don't mind that dies to it.
Yeah, I think somebody up in the chat said loot hoarder. That would be fine too, because loot hoarder would give you a card anyway. So that kind of stuff is fine.
Mhm.
Freezing trap is really rare, but you will see it sometimes. Freezing trap basically happens on all attacks. So if you're testing for that explosive trap, I recommend testing first with your weeniest guy, because what freezing trap does is, and this happens if you attack another creature or the hero, basically just on any attack. What happens is it will go back in your hand, and it will cost 2 more mana. So there's actually 2 ways to think about this: attack with your weeniest creature, or attack with the creature you wouldn't mind having back in your hand. So something with a really beneficial battle cry would be fine, like a Defender of Argus. It would cost 6, but it's still awesome. You know.
I really enjoy using Freezing Trap in my Hunter deck, and I'm trying to move away from the deck that we built together, Dills, for Extra Life, the one turn kill deck. And I'm moving back into something with more traps, more secrets, and everything else. And I really like Freezing Trap. It really screws people up because they're expecting Explosive Trap all the time.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I've seen this card be really effective. Let's say you attack with something that costs 9 mana, like a Ysera. Suddenly Ysera's gone and you can't play it anymore.
Yeah.
It's dead. It's a completely dead card. It costs 11 mana. Like, there's some really crazy things that could happen with this card. So I agree. I think there are some Hunter decks that are just secret Hunter decks that play all the secrets, and just because it totally disrupts your game.
Yeah.
But it's still a little bit rare that you see this. But I agree with you. I think it's a good card. I've used it very effectively before, so.
And I think isn't Freezing Trap one of the basics? Explosive Trap is rare, I think.
Is it? I think Explosive Trap is regular. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Explosive Trap is rare. I'm almost positive.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to look and check that out. But I just had the game open to see how many wins I had, and then I closed it back down again. I could have. All right, so the last one that I think really you'll see commonly is Snake Trap.
No, sorry, Explosive Trap is common.
Yeah.
It is common, okay.
Yeah, it's not a basic, but it's a common.
I think Freezing Trap might be rare then, right? Or Snake Trap. Snake Trap is epic.
Snake Trap is epic, yeah.
Okay, well, Snake Trap is pretty awesome. Misdirection is rare? Okay, Misdirection is rare.
I was thinking of Explosive Shot, which is rare.
Yes.
Explosive Trap.
Yes.
Explode all the things.
This is probably why you see those other two also, because they're, everyone has them. They're readily available. Snake Trap is a very specialized secret.
Man, does it suck combined with the freaking buzzard.
It does. See, so if somebody puts a buzzard down and then immediately casts a secret, pretty much guarantee that this is what's going on. So you guys should not fall for this.
Don't. I did it once. I will never do it again.
The problem here is that you could get into a situation where you can't kill that buzzard because you're trying not to attack it. Because basically what happens is anytime you attack a creature,
a minion,
any minion, 3 snakes, which are beasts, will be summoned onto the field. They're 1/1 snakes. If a buzzard's on the field, you get a card every time a beast is summoned, so the hunter will get 3 cards. The only way to avoid this is to kill it with a spell. So any spell that can do 2 damage will do this, which is a lot of spells.
And soon, any spell that does 1 damage, because the buzzard is getting...
Yeah.
Mages will laugh in the face of the OTK hunter.
Mages, not druids. No, not druids. They won't. Just mages. Oh, crap. Wow.
Or priests under certain circumstances.
Shadow priests, yes. But basically, it's one of the things that you will fall for once and then probably never fall for again because it's so bad when it happens.
Yeah, I did it last week. I was just like, "What the f?"
I love when it happens and you're like, "Oh crap! I'm smarter than that. What the hell did I just do?"
Yeah, I felt so bad, and I'm like, "Wait!" And I'm like reading up, and I'm like, "So how do I do this?" And Dales is like, "Just use a spell, dumbass. Come on." I'm like, "Oh, oops."
So the way to deal with this is a spell, or just avoid it and just attack his face, and he might get 1 creature out of it, like 1 card when he plays another beast, but hopefully you draw a spell. I don't know. Like I've avoided it for quite a while in the past.
Chat room makes
good games, but
Chat room makes a good point about what after the patch when the buzzard becomes a 2/1. What's going to feel amazing is shivving it with a rogue.
Sure.
They're like, you want card draw? I'm gonna kill it and draw a card. Thanks.
The 3 mana 2/2 that does 1 damage. Also, I mean, there's going to be a lot.
Elven Archer, it's a 1/1
Elven
that does
Archer,
1.
yeah.
Well, that's the 1/1, but there's the 3 mana 2/2 that does 1 damage. Also, I can't remember what it's called. Right?
It's a dwarf something.
Some sort of dwarf rifleman or something like that.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. But there's going to be a lot of ways to deal with this. So, and like the Moncrief says, Fan of Knives would be a waste against a single creature. I would do it.
Not in this scenario. In this scenario, if it's your only way of dealing with it, it is worth it.
Avoid the other guy getting 3 cards. Absolutely, I would do this. It's just one of those things where that's just too much of a game swing to allow that to happen if you can avoid it.
Yeah, I had to.
How much does Fan of Knives cost? I don't play rogues.
3 mana that draws you a card as well. So you replace it. The problem is that it's your big AOE clear that's gone.
Yeah.
Misdirect is the final hunter secret that you're not going to see very often, but it can be pretty cool. The problem is that when it triggers it, so basically what happens is whenever you attack with something, or actually it's only the hero, right? It's only attacking the hero. Whenever you attack the hero with a creature,
right,
will then randomly attack something else. Now this means you could attack one of your other cards. Like I could attack, if I have 2 creatures on the board, I could end up losing both of my guys because I could end up attacking one of them. I could also attack my own face. I could attack another one of the opponent's creatures that you don't know. It's totally random. So some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, I've seen this card 2 for 1 in a lot of situations, and it can be effective. It can also be totally useless. I mean, it can come out and it can kill. I play it and then he attacks my face and then just kills another one of my creatures anyway, and I saved my face, I guess, a little bit. But
yeah, it's okay in those desperation plays where you're like you're gonna die if this hit lands. But yeah, misdirection is not my favorite secret by any means.
If you play like Jocelyn, if you're playing that crazy like hunter with all the secrets deck, and then you have the 2 weapons that gain more charges per secret triggered, I would put this in there, sure. Just because it totally messes with the game. Like basically, they're just completely confused when they don't know what freaking secret it is. And I think actually, if you have secrets in your deck, unless you have specific ones for specific reasons, like some of the ones we've talked about, like you play Sunwalker and then you play Redemption, or you play Antonidas and then you play Spellbender or Counterspell, or the Buzzard Snake Trap, like these specific combos, I would say if you're going to have secrets, you probably should rock like 2 different kinds, just so that the opponent doesn't really know what's going on after a while, and they have to kind of give you credit for being able to play. And but anyway, I would like to hear some crazy stuff that happened to other people, so I think people should email us crazy secret stories. I'd like to hear some of those.
Yeah, send us to tacpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and if we miss stuff, let us know about that too, because I want to make sure that we get everybody covered on this. Because this is, look, we talked for a long time about it, but it's a tough mechanic to master, how to deal with these secrets and how to play them effectively too. So I think it's worth talking about.
Yeah, if you know how people can bust them, you know how you can screw with people.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
hopefully get it off. So.
Again,
The chat room just saying we're gonna get a lot of strange emails asking for crazy secret stories.
Tell me your secret stories.
Whole new segment on the show.
Yeah.
Crazy secret stories right before crazy game stories. It's the wacky chicken.
That would be pretty good, actually. I like that idea. Let's do it. All right, I'm done. I need a drink of beer. Oh man, so much talking.
Good stuff. Well, crazy game stories from the week, guys. Jocelyn, do you have anything for us?
Oh man, I don't think I've had a crazy game story since when we played at Extra Life, because this is still in the notes. So I'm just gonna go for it.
I think all of our crazy game stories are still from last week, but that's
because we didn't do it last week, and I don't think you guys did it at BlizzCon. And so Dills totally trolled me because he's a big jerk. Threw down a Murloc deck, which I have not seen other than playing against you, and then some dude with a druid did it to me today, and I was just like, oh man,
Murloc deck is making a serious resurgence. I guess.
Yeah.
It makes sense because they have innervates, so like on one turn they can innervate and then play like a ton of Murlocs all at once.
Yeah, I played
a Savage Roar, which gives everything. It's like a mini Bloodlust.
Yes, yeah. I think it gives everything +2.
Yeah,
attack,
and your hero +2 also.
Yeah.
And you keep it. It doesn't go away at the end of the turn, does it?
It goes away. Yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah. So
I played against a Druid Murloc deck today too, but I crushed him like the noob he was for running Murloc cards.
Oh man, I hung on, but yeah, I definitely lost. It was tight though.
Really?
I was so mad.
It's I think actually like the Druid Murloc makes sense, but I still think playing a Murloc is super cheese and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, actually, some of the packs that I opened before we did the Extra Life Marathon had Ysera in it, so I have Ysera now, which I
Ooh.
swear to God, I drew every single match that we played. So then, I mean, I wasn't even strategizing anymore. I was just like, I got Ysera, play.
Yeah, like, I saw Ysera 5 times or something.
It was amazing.
I was like, Jesus Christ, Ysera again? I was like, I can't even deal with it. But
Yeah.
basically, Ysera would come out, and my strategy would be, I guess I just go for her face and hope I can live long enough. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And the video is definitely on Twitch, and I'm fairly certain I have since uploaded to YouTube. It says in the notes that it'll be on YouTube tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I've already done that.
What's your
If
YouTube
not,
again,
then-
Jocelyn? What is your YouTube?
It's just Jocelyn Moffat.
Okay.
So yeah, just my name. No spaces or any fanciness.
It's not on the one with the angry chicken stuff, guys.
No, it's not. It's not.
So go check out Jocelyn's YouTube. So that's good. I'm glad to see Ysera was just nice and prevalent. I'm so ticked I missed that. It sounds like you guys had a blast. I was
Oh, we did.
I had to go to Kyle's wedding.
Ooh, weddings are
How
stupid.
dare his wedding was actually a lot of fun, but driving 6 hours to Jacksonville was not. But anyways, Dills, did you have anything fun?
Well, I think we already talked about. I was going to talk about the LAN party that we did at BlizzCon, but
The LAN party or the two dudes sitting in a corner of the Hilton till
it was
3:30
3
a.m.
dudes, all right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And Pat Crane came over and said hi. Like we had several people come by and talk. That was cool. So it was. We had quite a good time.
I couldn't find you after we went downstairs, and I was drunk, so I went to sleep.
That's right. Yeah, you bailed. You're gonna come with us and hang out, but
You got to the end of the elevator, and you just disappeared into the sea of people.
Hey, man, you got to keep up around here.
I'm like, where'd Dills go? I'm tired.
Not when I got recorded snoring. I don't think.
That
Well-
made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I was sawing some logs, man.
Oh
Holy crap.
man.
But
I
that's-
thought Scott was screwing with you. I thought that was like just a generic sound clip.
no, Nicole actually did that.
Good to know. Maybe I shouldn't have introduced myself to Nicole.
Yeah, now she knows who you are.
That's
You're on the list,
I'm
man.
gonna go to Nerdtacula's here, and she's gonna get some terrible video of me.
Yeah.
We actually got kicked out of the lobby at like 3:30 in the morning. I won the little tournament, by the way, though, so that was cool. And I had one game especially against David, who's Hearthstone Power, on Reddit and on Twitch, and he was playing me as a mage, and I was a priest, and I swear to God, I was at 3 health for 10 turns, and he could not draw his Pyroblast or Fireball. All the way until he got down to like 3 cards left. I think it must have been the bottom 2 cards on his deck, and I won the game. But
Wow.
we played basically a triple knockout round robin tournament, and it was amazing. It was super fun. And then some really drunk guy passed out on the couch next to us. So when they were kicking us out, he tanked the security guard for us for a while we finished our little mini tournament. But I had one game recently that Ice Worm just brought it up. I had, like, you guys have heard of top decking for the win? Well, I bottom decked for the win. I pulled my 30th card. I could not kill this guy. It was the craziest game. Like, the guy was at like 2 health forever and just kept having stuff on the board that I couldn't kill. Like taunt stuff or whatever. He just was top decking like everything. And I was like, crap, I'm going to run out of cards. I'm not even going to have enough to finish this guy off. Dude's literally at 2 health, or maybe even at 1 health. I don't remember. Last card in my deck was an Abomination. And I play it, and I'm like, oh my God, I won. I play the Abomination, and he like sits there for a few minutes and goes, oh,
Wow.
finally kills it and dies.
Oh,
So
I love those kind of games where it's just like you think you're just dead and you just pull the one thing that they literally have no answer to.
yeah,
If they kill it, they die. If they leave it alone, they die.
It was even if like like a leper gnome might have been able to do it too, but basically I think he could have killed me with the next hit. So like this was actually the only thing that he could have. And I remember when it happened, I was like, please don't silence this. Like we'll cry so hard if you silence this thing. But yeah, it was pretty epic. And then I had my double perfect bombers that made me like have to get up and go take a shot of whiskey. Like literally, I played 2 bombers like in 2 straight games or something where it hit the other guy with 2 health twice and then their hero. So it killed the other guy's 2 drop and then hit the hero. So it was like bombers twice in a row. It was amazing.
Feels good.
It was nice.
Awesome.
You can check all that out on my stream bit VODs. I think it's all in there somewhere. I got to highlight all that stuff though because I had some crazy stuff happen.
Yeah. I don't think I have any good stories from the week other than I finally crafted myself a Ragnaros because I bought some more cards and I cracked them and I got 1 Grom and then I got a second Golden Grom. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm shredding Golden Grom and making myself a Ragnaros.
You want?
Poor
Yeah.
card.
Yeah. Well,
Oh no, that's what you do with that, man. That is absolutely what you do with that.
It's like,
Until you all the cards, who cares about gold cards? You know?
Yeah. When you
I like gold cards.
When you pull a second legendary that's gold of one you already have, it's like cool. I can have whatever legendary I want.
Well, I guess that's true.
And that's a good one.
Unfortunately, I also got Nat Pagel, which I'm not excited about. I'm probably gonna destroy him.
Yeah, I saw him in a lot of decks for a while. I don't know if I'd get rid of him just yet. He might come around.
Oh, I still have my Baron Geddon, which I truly hate with every fiber of my being. I don't like that card. I think it's trash.
Baron Geddon's tough. Yeah, I crafted Sylvanas finally.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I really want a Sylvanas and I really want a Ysera. Damn you, Jocelyn.
So, quick question for you. You said you bought more cards. So, what totals are you guys up to in terms of money spent in Hearthstone?
It's not about the money.
I'm just curious. I'm
it's
just
not
curious
about-
how many packs you've opened to get your legendaries.
It's too many. Too many.
Too many?
Things I don't want to talk about here. On that subject, we are taking donations for the show.
We are all poor now. Hearthstone's broken us spiritually.
Actually, not
and
joking. I think I
mentally.
did set up a link to donate to the show, and I just forgot to
Yeah,
tell
there is
everyone.
one.
Yeah, on amove.tv/TAC. There's
Oh,
a
cool.
little PayPal link, so you can donate to the show. We will split it up and buy cards and come back with good stories.
Well, we should. If people donate, we should put it on video.
Oh, absolutely.
People like to watch cards.
People
cards.
love People love to watch others open packs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something
Having trouble speaking.
I never thought would be something interesting to watch. I don't think. No, I streamed the first 40 I opened, I think, but I had
Yeah.
like 3 people watching me.
Oh my god, I had so many people watching me. I had like 15 or 17 people watching me open packs. It was crazy.
Yeah. Maybe the next time I crack 40, I'll record it. So
The next time.
the next time.
It will happen.
Yeah. I bought 40 once, and then I bought when the beta first hit, I bought the like 15 or whatever it was, and then I spent maybe like $10 on arenas, something like that. So I don't
So
know.
you're getting all your dust and your cards from arena runs then, eh?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I still got like almost 3,000 gold, so I'm.
Oh
good
my
to go.
god.
Just keep playing arenas.
Wow.
I just hit
I burned through a ton of gold though in that little crappy run I had recently.
I think I just hit like 300 gold from like doing quests and ladder and stuff, and I was like, yes, 300 gold. I'm gonna go do some arena, but then I didn't because arena's really intimidating.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think
I-
you should.
It's not my thing. I don't love it.
Well,
Rewards are just so good.
Yeah, but I just don't like it. I don't know.
I think even if you're not good at it, the awards are still better than spending 100 gold on a pack.
I'm not spending 100
Well, 'cause
gold on it. I do go in arena from time to time, but every time I come out of it, I'm just like, I really wish I had just played some constructed games. Like I've had way more fun.
But
But
you
it's-
get
well,
one
you get
pack
packs.
for sure, right?
Yeah, you always get one pack. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't do it. I'm just saying I don't. Something it doesn't click for me. There's something missing.
If you do one arena though, and you do like 3 wins, I think 3 wins, you've gotten your money's worth out of that. It's worth the 50 gold that you spent, and you always get the pack. So But I think what Arena does as well is it allows you to play with cards you don't currently have, and it allows you to create interesting decks. You know what I mean? So you have to look at it a little differently. Like,
See, I look at it as a cynic and go, it lets me play with cards I never play with because they're crap.
if you can figure out how to make crap cards work, like there's
Right.
a way you can find value in cards you didn't know that were valuable. And I've come out of arena runs and been like, wow, Swordsmith was good. Like Swordsmith won me that game, and like things like that where I'm like, it makes me reevaluate cards, and you can figure out new ways to kind of deal with situations.
True.
So,
It's not a 1-to-1 to constructed though, and that's the same thing in Magic. Cards that are really good for draft are terrible in constructed.
no, it's true. It's you definitely can't come out and say, oh well, that worked in arena, so it's definitely going to work in constructed. Like that's not how it works at all. But I mean, come on, Garrett. If I can come around on constructed, you can stop being so close-minded and come around on arena, right?
Well, I will say in my defense, you did not help sell Arena at all today. You're like, yeah, everyone's just playing 1 and 2 drops. There's no strategy at all, and it's actually not fun whatsoever.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you kind of killed it.
your strategy, and then you still win 9. That's fine. It's cool.
Right. I don't, winning 9 by blindly swinging at my opponent's face just doesn't seem like a good
That's
time.
not what I've done, but I have made my decks more aggressive. Like to the fact where I can have as many creatures on board as they can. I'm still trading, but they're stifled basically. Like they can't deal with it. So that's to me like I'm still not like I'm just going for your face because I still don't buy it. I don't think that's going to work every time.
Right.
I think meta has switched, but people haven't figured out how to deal with it. But I'm going to just deal with it. I'm going to find a way.
I would just I don't know. I have absolutely no idea how they're going to do it. So consider this my whiny idiot on the forum post. I would like an option for constructed play where the rewards are equal to that of arena, because at the moment I feel like, well, if I want to get cards and not pay money, I have to play arena, and I don't like that.
That's all they need is a tournament mode where you take your constructed deck and you enter a tournament. You don't have to play the exact same 16 guys who enter. Just arena style in a way. Like when I get to 1 win, I move on, I play somebody else at 1 win. Then when I get to 2 wins, I move on, I play somebody else at 2 wins. But it's all constructed, I think that would totally work.
Yeah, I don't know. Since it's not like Magic, and you can't just go. I'm just gonna pay $300 for a golden Ragnaros. Like, you can't do that. So I don't know.
Yeah, and you buy $300 worth of packs and then
Okay.
you crack whatever the hell you want.
True, exactly. But I mean, I don't know. If they use their MMR and you're getting matched up against similar people, I think a constructed tournament version would be just fine.
Yeah. I would like to see it maybe where you could spend, instead of gold to get into it, you spend dust to get into it, and then you get like gold rewards or something. Like some way to kind of go either way. Like I could spend gold and just get dust, or I could spend dust and just get gold. Like something where you could kind of convert one to the other, I think would be kind of cool too. Because, some people, like, if you're saying, I don't like arena, then really, I mean, wouldn't it be good to just earn dust to craft the cards you want? Like, that's really all you care about is getting the cards you want for your construction decks. So if you could just earn dust and then make whatever cards you need, then you wouldn't ever have to worry about gold. Because gold doesn't matter to a constructed player.
Yeah, that's a good point. But you know what else I like? Giving away beta keys to the live crowd.
Me too.
I like that quite a bit. So live audience, ears
You guys
up.
know we're giving out beta keys? Did they know this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Garrett mentioned it off the top, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I threw it in the chat about halfway through.
I was putting my pants on at that point. So
All right, guys. So, listener Harry Dragon, which is just such a god awful name, he won one of our beta keys,
and then you just put him down.
Yeah.
Well,
It's an amazing name, sir.
it's
I love you,
We
Harry.
love Harry Dragons.
I love his penis euphemism. Anyways, he won one of our.
What he means? Huh.
I totally didn't get that either.
Sounds like one. I guess my mind's in the gutter. Anyways, he won one of our beta keys, and his computer just recently broke, and I guess he's buying a house, so he doesn't have money for a new computer. So
Which is so sad.
not only did he give us back the key he won, but this week he got a second key from Blizzard directly. So he's like, here, just take it. Just give these away on the show. Whatever you want to do. It is now my donation. His only request is that we make people give us their best Murloc war cries. So chat room, we're doing this live since we haven't given away any to the live show. Mm-hmm. So chat room, right now, type your best Murloc battle cry, and we're going to pick 2 at random and give away some keys. So...
what I gotta type in?
However they want to type in however they want to type it in is how they can type it in. I love the obvious lag as people try and figure out how they're actually going to spell this thing.
How do you spell McGurgle?
I like someone goes woof. You lose,
Lots of
sir.
ways to do it.
You lose.
Oops, I died. Oh man,
Yeah,
there's some
only
good
if you
ones.
gues need a key, please, because
Yeah.
we might put when you already have a key, and then you're just a jerk. By the way, I've given away a few keys in my stream recently, and like these are the best chances you're gonna have at a key, you guys. Like you're not gonna find better odds than
Yeah.
in my stream or in here right now. Like a lot of people already have them in here, and it's not like going to Trump's stream and waiting for him to go 9-0 and then trying to win a key out of 10,000 people. This
All
is
right.
good odds right here.
Picking one at random. Oh man, it's still coming.
You didn't think this through, did you?
The first one I got fully highlighted Bluster Bun, who typed Murgle, oops, I died.
Okay.
So hopefully you didn't actually die, Bluster Bun, because you won one of the keys. So, Bluster Bun, if you could message the this Twitch account, the A-Move TV's Twitch account, send a message to our inbox. So, I'd have you send an email, but then people could lie.
True that.
I will be looking for Bluster Bun
Yeah,
in,
just
our,
do it on
in our Twitch
chat. That's easier.
in our Twitch thing. And then you want to pick the next one, Dills?
Yes. All right. I'm just gonna do the.
Since I apparently have an issue with this.
100 DPSing. I'm just gonna go up and down with my mouse wheel here. And the winner is Sabin UCSB. Oh, I know this name. I know this person.
All right. You see. Oh, here it is. Sabin UCSB.
This person goes in my stream a lot.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead and again, just direct message us, Sabin, and I will get that. I'll get that mail to you.
Oh wait, Sabin already has one? Does he already have one? You son of a
You're
bitch.
not supposed to gurgle if you already have a key.
Wait, I think I remember you talking about how you got one. Didn't you just like get one in the mail? Okay.
All right, you
It's-
failed, Jocelyn. What?
I got another one. Oh yeah, go. Yeah, Jocelyn, you go. I got another one, but Jocelyn.
You failed. Jocelyn goes.
Yay. I'm gonna go with Substance because he just said Deaf Murloc.
Okay.
So I'm alright with that.
You said his name was Substance?
Yep.
Okay, Substance, and who did we say was the other guy?
Bluster Bun.
Blusterbun. Please send a direct message in Twitch to the Amu TV account. I'm refreshing my inbox. And Blusterbun, you haven't responded yet. Do you want this key or not? I will send it to you. You can play tonight. You can play in the next 5 minutes.
Right now.
Playing right now.
Respond.
If you just send a message, but apparently you don't really care.
So there you go. Grats, guys.
Yes. Thanks for listening
Welcome.
live.
Welcome to the end of your free time.
Yeah. We are running out of time, so we'll take one email. Carter writes in and says, "Hi guys and gal. I was wondering if you would want to approach a discussion about why there are so many disgruntled players who are not a part of the beta. I can take comfort knowing I am not alone at least." He said, "Is Hearthstone actually in beta or is it live to the people who have received keys? Since there is no planned wipe, people are already progressing through the game. What if the new WoW expansion beta testers got to keep level progression and even raid or arena PvP gear when the game is released? I think people would flip out. I agree that beta testers should be rewarded for helping find bugs and providing data for balancing, but this seems too much to me. It may be one reason why people who are not in the beta are not happy with the situation. Hopefully I'll be joining the fun soon and keep podcasting."
Okay. I think that there's some validity there, but I also think that this isn't like WoW.
It's not a 1-to-1 comparison. It's not even close.
No, I don't think it's like that. But people who play in the WoW beta and raid in it do have an advantage. All of the top raid teams play through that content, and then they race the world first, and they've already played it. So, in that respect, even then, they still have an advantage. Sure, they have to grind the gear up again, but they can do that pretty quick.
Yeah, for those people on those schedules, it is trivial at best.
Yeah. But this game, if they said to me, when the game comes out, we're going to wipe it all again, I would probably not play very much. I'd
That's
probably
true.
treat it like a WoW beta where I played a little bit and then I go, okay, well, I don't want to do all this again. So,
Well, and that's exactly how I treated the beta before the first wipe. Is I was just like, well, I really like the game, but I'm not going to get into it hardcore. I know the wipe is coming in the next couple of weeks, so I'm just going to wait, and then I'm going to go really into it after the wipe, which is exactly what happened, and now I play all the time. So if there was going to be another wipe, I completely agree with you, Dills. They would lose all of their testers essentially because everyone would just be sitting back and not testing.
yeah, they basically wouldn't get the testing that they're getting right now.
Yeah.
So.
I don't disagree that there'd be a drop-off, but I'd still be playing the living crap out of this game.
Oh, yeah, no, but you know what? I would just be doing Arena just because that's the part that I think is just kind of fun. Like, that's the most enjoyable. But I would, like opening packs, I wouldn't even care. Like, be like, oh, cool, I got that I won't have again soon. It's like, and that whole going through all of that again part was pretty rough. Like, having to do do all the tutorials again, and then, oh crap, I have no cards. I got to get everything to level 10, and like all of that was. So to do it to us twice would just be too much.
Yeah, I think my druid is still not level 10.
I have, I think, the warrior and possibly the priest that still aren't 10. I think my warrior is like literally level 1.
Yeah, so I mean, I fully understand why people are concerned, but I think in this particular case with this particular game, I think it's actually fine. And you might think that's like some biased opinion, but I think there's a solid reason for it being the way it is this time around. And when you do get in the game, granted, you won't have all the cards that everyone's going to have, but you're going to be playing against other people who aren't going to have those cards either. So, if your goal is to be the number one Hearthstone player, you'll have to get there a little later, but you'll still be able to get there. And don't worry about it. You'll be playing people on equal footing. So,
I started playing Magic this year, and I'm doing just fine.
And now you're the best Magic player ever. So,
that is not
everyone can do it.
I think at a certain point it comes down to what is your goal? Do you want to be a pro Hearthstone player? Okay, you're probably falling a little behind.
Well, but you know what? You're not really, because if that's your goal, then you're gonna blow $200 on cards. Like if that's really your goal,
Yeah,
know.
and you're probably reading up on it. And we're only, according to Blizzard, a month away from open beta.
yeah.
There's so many giveaways.
Yeah.
There's so many people selling keys for like $20 on eBay.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to get in, like there's ways. If it's that important, if you are like, no, I'm going to be pro and I want to be in it now, there's ways to get in.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody who I don't know. I mean, it's still beta. Don't worry. When the game comes out, everyone will feel like they're on equal footing because all the people who are above that will be above that, and MMR will get wiped. So, whatever.
Well, and it's also not closed beta, so there's lots of decks out there, there's lots of streams out there. You can learn without actually playing if that's really what you want to do, is learn how to get better at the game. There's lots of tools available without actually being part of the beta. Then when you actually do get in, all you need to do, what you need to do is then build up the cards that you want through, Arena or buying decks or whatever. And then, it's less of a hurdle than it possibly could be if it was completely closed,
shut off, and you can't
Yeah.
about it.
Well, I mean, it's still technically a closed beta. It's just a closed
closed,
beta
what I
without
meant.
an NDA.
Yes, thank you. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
But what's funny? I've heard from several people that they thought they knew all the moves, and then they got the game, started playing. They're like, "Crap! I actually make mistakes." When I was watching streams, I totally knew the best move to make in every situation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But
yeah.
once you're actually playing, it's like, oh, wait a minute, what?
Completely
Oh,
different.
no, don't do that. You know, stuff like that. So
It's like
Yeah.
I am way pro at hockey, except if you put me
Yeah.
on the rink, then I'm just, I'd totally screw up. It's understandable.
take away the physical limitations of my body, and I would be so good at baseball.
There
I'd be
you go.
amazing at baseball.
If I could, if I could pull whatever card I wanted in Magic, I'd be a pro.
Yeah, you'd be the best.
An absolute pro. A couple shout outs before we start the end of the show. Kevin Martin, listener who placed in the top 4 of this weekend's Team Liquid Open. Congrats to you,
man. I
dude.
watched
Yeah.
it on the stream. Awesome job.
You are way better than me.
Hey, I don't know, man. Maybe he just got lucky draws the whole time. You never know.
There's a certain point where you make it to the second or third round, okay, maybe luck is on your side. You make it that far, you're doing something right.
Yeah, but it was really cool. I saw his decks. Really, really great stuff. And yeah, tweeted. Said he was a fan. So that's pretty awesome. I feel like he got represented in that tournament,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
even though me and Garrett represented us terribly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
they did.
okay. I'm totally going to enter the next one and just wipe the floor with both of you, so it's all good.
Well, if you just register and
Oh.
check in, you will have done that.
You can only go up.
That's
Jocelyn.
true. That's true.
You can literally enter the next one. You can make it to the second round and be, I am officially the highest placing host of the Angry Chicken.
I don't even have to make it to the second round. I just have to win one
Oh,
game.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. You just have to win one game.
It's true. Let's win again.
Oh, God. I want a best of 5. I want a best of 5. I also wanted to give a personal shout out. What was that?
You got to get to the finals for best of
I
5.
know. I want to give a shout out to Nosato. I joined AIE finally. And WoW.
Hey!
And random AIE member Nosato, Torrent Druid, no idea who this person is or if they even actually listen. But Nosato helped me lay waste to the Timeless Isle, which I've never been to before, and it's really easy to die out there. And now I have a full set of epics, and I appreciate the help. So
Yeah,
No, it's
AIE
just
is
standard AIE
absolutely
story.
awesome for that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if they knew who you were or not. That's
Yeah.
that's just how it works in our guild, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
yep, super nice people. Should have moved over a lot sooner. It's
Cool.
awesome. Anyways, it's the end of the show. Thanks to those of you who left us 5-star reviews in the iTunes store. Thanks to Baruski. I see what you did there. Thank you to Zestage. Thanks to Don Ford, Dubrix, D. Stel Jr., and Jocelyn, anyone from the Canadian store?
Oh yeah, we have some Canadian reviews from Alanon this week. I know, right? So
Say,
yeah.
what's this all about?
Hey, hey. I only said A like twice tonight. I was counting.
I almost called you out and said, oh my God, you said A unironically. This is amazing.
Oh man. Yeah,
Those
so I'm gonna do one Canadian shout out a week because we actually had a listener on Twitter that was like, "Hey, I left a review in the Canadian store. What's going on?" So totally my bad. From now on, there will be Canadians in the iTunes.
Yeah,
thing.
they're not mixed. You have to change regions or be in that region to see them. So,
Yeah.
I bet you in the Canadian iTunes store, nobody ever leaves 1-star reviews.
All 5-star all the time because we're so damn nice.
Everyone's just like, yeah, man, this is good. You know, it's not that great, but good job for trying. And
Thanks for coming out.
so your
5 stars.
5 stars.
Oh, it's so true. I literally think they're all 5-star reviews in the Canadian iTunes store.
that's only because I haven't made any jokes about the mayor of Toronto on this show.
Don't.
What?
Don't.
The awesome mayor of Toronto? I wish he was the mayor of San Francisco. I would totally. Yeah. Me and him would have drunken stupors all the time. It'd be amazing.
And you could do lines of crack because it doesn't count when you're in a drunken stupor.
What? Crack?
In
What kind
one
of
of-
crack are you doing up there?
I love that in one of my drunken stupid, it's implying that there was far too many for him to
God.
remember.
Well,
Like
drunken
daily.
stupors. Every now and then you might smoke some crack. That's all I'm saying. It could happen.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go to Google, type in Toronto Mayor, or watch Jon Stewart.
Yes.
There is that. The Angry Chicken is a production of amove.tv and the Frog Pants Studios. You can see more about this and all of the other amove shows like amove Radio or Starcast or The Gamers Inn on amove.tv. Make sure to check out all of the other shows on frogpants.com as well, like The Instance with Mr. Dills over here. You can, yeah, it's all
You
right.
don't look excited at all.
We mostly just try really hard not to talk about more Hearthstone, you know. I can't wait for that joke to just go away. Like, Warcraft's in the name, people. It's going to be brought up on a Warcraft show. But hey, there's me being rational. You can email us at tacpodcast@gmail.com. Our live show records every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/amovetv. Follow that channel. You'll get updates when we go live. You won't miss a show. Or, more importantly, a live beta key giveaway. Yeah. We've actually got some more. I might do some more next week. You can follow us on Twitter at TACPodcast. I am at Garrett Art. Dills is at Willie Dills. And Miss Jocelyn can be found at GIS Gamer. Big thanks to Brian Griffith, who did all of our intro music for the show. I say all of ours. It's just the intro music. He can be found at briangriffithmusic.com, and you can go to nomoonart.com for my graphic design work. I freelance for a living. Check it out. Dills, where can people find you?
You can check out The Instance, of course, the World of Warcraft podcast, so you don't have to. Torchcast is a podcast about the San Francisco Giants, so if you like that team in particular, you will like this. If you like another team, you're probably going to hate it, so don't even bother. And if you're a mediocre golfer, you should check out the MGA Mediocast and also MGAtour.com. And that's it.
Dills have...
Oh, and my stream. And check out my stream.
Yeah,
Dills SF on Twitch.
Okay. Dills, have I made the admission to you that I tend to root for the Yankees?
Oh, that's fine. I don't care about the Yankees.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Some people
as long as you're not a Dodger fan, I don't really give a
Some
crap.
people get violent about. I rooted for them briefly when Joe Torre was a coach, and I was also living in LA at the time, so it was just kind of like, why not? You know?
Yeah, it's like the Yankees are in the American League, so whatever.
It's like whatever. Okay, some people get violent about that. Like, how dare you?
Well, Boston Red Sox fans probably.
Oh yeah, but that's it's not their fault they were born in New England. So
true, but mostly it is.
Jocelyn, get us out of this sports talk. Where can people find you?
They can find me right here on AMove TV every Friday night for the Gamers In. And if you want to watch me streaming, I've been doing a lot over at GIS Gamer on Twitch.
Awesome. Check it out. Also, check out our sponsors, doghousesystems.com. Our code is TAC, and that'll get you double memory on your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig. I love mine to death. I sometimes stroke it very slowly, and my girlfriend walks in and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm just like, "Hey, I'm just romancing my computer."
I thought we said no secret stories, Garrett.
Garrett.
This is a public story. What are you talking about?
Sometimes I stroke it.
Flip the... that is not going to be the title of today's episode, and I'm going to end it here. Have a good week, everyone. Job done.
Job's done.